Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. We're taking a look at one of the new Tribute to D-Day DLC divisions. Steel Division 2 is releasing on Saturday, June 6th, and I am excited to have a look at these. The first Pancerna, when I started to play Steel Division Normandy, when I got back to the game after a little time off, the first Pancerna was one of the divisions I really started to play heavily. I love this division. It was fantastic in Normandy, a real top division, often played by the pros in the Steel Division League back then. And yeah, let's have a look at it, see whether it's maintained that efficiency, and let's see what units they've got. So starting us off in the Recon tab, we have the Morris LRC with the Bren gun and the boys anti-tank rifle. I mean, it probably won't get taken too often, but it's a lovely little unit, to start us off. Now the pronunciation is going to be difficult because they are Polish names, but we have the Dywizja. That's totally wrong, I'm sorry, I am very sorry. The Dywizja. Probably even worse. They have the 2 Sten guns and the 2 Lee Enfields, but the Piat is what interests me. They are a recon squad with an anti-tank bazooka. Oh, it's not a bazooka, it's a spigot mortar with an anti-tank weapon. So they can go behind enemy lines and act all sneaky like. Yeah, I think they'll be a decent unit to take in this Recon tab. What else do we have here? The Stuart 5s and the Cromwell 4. The first Cromwell we're going to see in this division. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Cromwells to come. And a fairly standard looking skin, nothing, you know, standing out. What I would say is I just love the detail here of the unit, the division kind of icon, the division badge on the side of that turret. Oh, and the lovely little 28 down there on the front. I'm concentrating on the skin, I'm not even looking at the unit. So 3 of them in A phase, 75mm AP gun, 90mm of penetration. I mean, it's not amazing, it's the equivalent to a Sherman. 70mm of frontal armor, slightly less than a Sherman if I remember correctly. I might be wrong on that, but its speed is pretty good. Road speed 65 kilometers per hour. That is a pretty fast tank. So this thing can operate behind enemy lines as well because it has that recon tab. So, you know, we could see some Churchills roaming three in the back line. 6 of them in B phase might be an option. Okay, the infantry, we have the Dywizja Bren, which is 3 Lee Enfields and a Bren, 2 Brens, so it's basically a defense group, 15 points. We'll have to see whether they're going to get taken depending on the other, you know, infantry units in the deck. We've got the Strelky, 1 Sten, 8 Lee Enfields and a Bren gun, pretty standard. 12 in A, 24 in B, 36 in C phase. So not many slots, but with one of these in C phase, you're kind of covering your C phase availability immediately. And this is a tank division, remember. Dragoni. These are basically the Strelky with the Piat. Little less strength squads though, 8 strength squads. You can get 24 of these in C phase, which is pretty good, and they can come in those M5 half tracks. So it's kind of your choice where you use this card. You only get 1 card of them, but I mean, you might want to maximize the availability and put them in C phase. They have the Superzi with the Piat as well, and the TNT grenades. So 5 in A, 10 in B, 15 in C. I mean, again, it's tough to call where you use these guys because, yeah, you kind of want to maximize availability, but you can't take everything in C. And then we have the Superzi with the 2 Stens, the 7 Lee Enfields, and the Lifebuoy flamethrower. You can get 5 in A, 10 in B, so yeah, your choices are a bit more limited in that one. They can come in the M5 half tracks with the 30 cal on the top, so mostly you're going to be using those Strelky I would say you've got to look out though, because you do want to sprinkle some of these Piats throughout the phases, so you've got some anti-tank weaponry on these troops. So yeah, this is going to be fairly customizable, the loadout, I think, for this division. Let's move on. Let's have a look at the tank tab for this tank division, and you get a lot of slots, and a lot of them are fairly cheap as well. Stuart 5 start us off, 8 in A phase, 12 in B phase, could supplement other tanks. The Cromwell 5 here with this beautiful camouflage netting all the way around, as well as some rolls on the back. Very beautiful skin. 5 of them in A phase, 10 in B phase, and 15 in C phase. You know, similar to the Cromwell we looked at earlier. In fact, I think it's the same setup as the Cromwell we looked at earlier. But yeah, you can get 3 cards of these, and they're fairly good availability throughout. We have the Cromwell 5 leader. We also have the Cromwell 7 with the full camo netting deployed over the turret there. Very strange looking skin. You're not getting out of that very easily, are you? So these are 60 points. I think they've got the same gun, but they have the better frontal armor, 120mm of frontal armor, and they don't sacrifice that road speed. So these are good units, but they only come in C phase. Lot, you can get 8 of them in C phase, unvetted. You know, you're gonna take them, no doubt about it. We do have some Sherman 5s in here. 100mm of frontal armor, so a lot better than the Cromwell 5s that I was kind of comparing it earlier. But I think these are the kind of better Shermans of the. These are the Sherman 5s and not the Sherman 3s, but Shermans are good. Shermans are good. 5 cards of them as well. You're going to want a lot of Shermans in this deck. I mean, do you take the Cromwells? Do you take the Shermans? Tough decisions here, because you can't take everything. Actually, that is a real tough decision. I mean, you're probably going to sprinkle a couple of each throughout. The Cromwells have that speed, but the Shermans, I mean, they are fantastic at anti-infantry duties. We also have the Firefly 1C here, and you're definitely going to want to take this bad boy, but you only get 2 of them in A phase. Look at the skin though. Absolutely beautifully detailed skin on this tank. Wonderful job with that skin. These have the 76.2mm gun, the 17 pounder, 170mm of penetration. Yeah, you are going to want these units. They can take out IS-2s. They can take out King Tigers as well, although you really want a side shot. Otherwise, you're going to need to get, you know, kind of close with them. But they are fantastic units. And then we have, following them up, the Firefly 5C. You can get these in A, B, or C phase. And actually, you can get 3 cards of these. Oh my days, the tank choices in this division is just ungodly. Ungodly. Oh, and look at this lovely little box in the back with the fuel and probably some coolant in there as well. Oh no, there's the fuel, so who knows, maybe it's engine oil. I don't know, I'm making it up, guys. I'm making it up. I don't actually know. You drop in the comments if you know. But yeah, you can get 3 cards of Firefly, 5 cards of Shermans, you know, 4 cards of Cromwells. Just so many choices here. You're probably going to want to fill up all of these tank slots. I can see this division actually being fairly strong, but I can see it being, you know, weighted towards being more of a vanguard division, because although they've got some heavy penetrating guns, the actual armor on these tanks are pretty light. I mean, the biggest armored version is this Cromwell 7 at 120mm, and that's not, you know, epic. So yeah, this is probably leaning towards more of a Vanguard style at the moment to kind of put your weight behind the number of units you can get out early. They are fairly cheap. I mean, the most expensive tank you're talking is 95 points. They've got fantastic guns on them. They're excellent fire support on those Sherman 5s. Yeah, I can see this being a decent Vanguard division. And then you don't have to worry, if you play them Vanguard, you don't have to worry too much about lower infantry availability, because you want to be finishing the game within that 30-minute, mark. Support tab. We've got the 2-inch mortars. They probably won't be taken too much. We've got the Vickers HMG. Not fantastic. We've got the Cromwell 6, which is the HE variant. And actually, let me just take a look back at those Cromwell. So they do have HE shells. I just wanted to check that, because sometimes the British tanks, they only have either AP or HE, like in this instance, just a HE on this Cromwell 6. But yeah, this is basically your support tab, Cromwell 6. Done. You can get a Cromwell 5 commander and a Sherman 5 commander. Kind of interesting. We've got the lovely little Dingo commander as well, and this is the one that most people are going to take. You can take an A phase. I think most people are going to have this Dingo commander in their deck. So yeah, Cromwell 6, Dingo commander, supply, job done. Anti-tank tab, we have some Pierts. Will they get taken or not? Interesting. I think this is, yeah, it's an interesting choice here. Do you take them or not? They can supplement your infantry AT, but if you're playing a Vanguard deck, I guess 15 points actually is very cheap. Put them in some, put them in a Jeep, race them to the front lines. 15 points, not that bad actually. They do have 200-meter range on it as well, so they do outrange, the Panzerfaust. Yeah, could be a decent unit. We have 2 cards of 6-pounders. 6-pounders, fantastic sort of medium AT gun. We have 4 cards of 17-pounders. I mean, if you didn't have enough 17-pounders in the tank tab, take some more in the anti-tank tab. Wow, a lot of 17-pounders in this deck. You also get the Achilles 2C with the 17-pounder on that hull. And yeah, what more is there to say? 17-pounders all day. 17-pounders for days. That's what this division is going to be. Anti-air tab, Crusader Mark IIs, and I remember from Normandy, yeah, pretty much the same kind of setup. All of the AA is pretty portable apart from these Bofors. You've got the Crusader AA Mark II, you've got the standard Bofors, you've got the Bofors on the truck here. 95 points for that one, and then you have the Crusader AA Mark IIB, which is the Tripolston. Not 100% convinced about Tripolstons at the moment. I have to experiment with this vehicle. For me, most people will take the standard Bofors, if I'm honest. 90 points, you just cannot go wrong with them. But look at the availability of this AA and look at the slots. I mean, you could take AA for days. 17-pounders, AA, job done. Artillery, we've got the Artillery Observer. Will they get taken? Probably not. We've got the 3-inch mortar, which is basically an 81mm mortar. Yeah, good unit, solid unit. We've got the 4.2, we've got the 25-pounder, we've got Sextons. So I think this is the first division with Sextons, I guess. Well, I mean, it's a Normandy division, so there's not going to be many Russian Sexton divisions out there, are there? But yeah, we've got the Sextons with the 25-pounders on. I think it's like a priest chassis, isn't it? You can get 2 of them in A phase, which is reasonable. 4 in B and 6 in C. Yeah, I think, I mean, wow, they do have 90 HE shells on these things, so you get 1 in A phase and that'll do you for the rest of the game. You don't need that supply. Go back to the support, get that supply out the deck. What do you need supply for? I can see people just taking this deck as a Vanguard, putting in those Sextons in A phase, no supply, you save money on points. And then we got the Sherman 5 off map, which does have the kind of the machine guns on it, the 50 cal and the 230 cal, so it can act as like fire support for the infantry once those off-map charges are used. I think this one's definitely a must pick, and you probably want it in A phase if you are going to go for that overwhelming vanguard force. I definitely like the look of this as a vanguard pushing it. This could be, you know, one of Gonzo's favourite decks possibly in the future. I don't know. I'm not sure Nilla will be so much into it because he is more of an infantry player. But yeah, definitely this seems to me to be more of a vanguard style deck. In terms of the Air Force, we have the Hurricanes, and you know how much I love Hurricanes. I love Hurricanes. 3 of them in A phase. 6 of them I think it was, yeah, in B phase. They have the 4 Hispano 20mm. They can be pretty strong, those 20mm. You get behind something, you can shoot it down pretty easily. They can also be used at close air support. The speed is not fantastic, the agility is not fantastic, the resilience is not fantastic, but they are 80 points. Again, lends itself to Vanguard. Oof, this division's looking strong. We also get the Hurricanes with the 230 kilogram bombs. I mean, these are pretty big hitting bombs, 2 of them. Yeah, I think this is going to be a decent unit. You probably want the 2 in B phase. I mean, you could, these 2 cards, you could take two cards of these in A phase. We have the Spitfire LF Mark 9C. This thing is going to be probably one of the kings of the air, I think. 2 Hispano cannons, 4 Browning 7.7mm, excellent agility. Pretty cheap as well. You can get 8 of them in C phase. Yeah, these are good fighters. Well, it's a good air lineup. We also have the Mosquito 6 with those 6 110 kilogram HE bombs. How many can you get? 2 of them in A phase, and I think that's a bug. Yeah, that was a bit of a bug there. So yeah, you can get these 110 points. We also have a version with 230 kilogram bombs, 115 points. I think this is the better version. You're probably going to want to pick this over the other version, but they're still pretty good. We have the Mustang Mark 3s. Oh, just look at those beautiful propellers. A lovely looking fighter. And yeah, this thing is fast, and I think it's going to rule the skies. And then finally we've got the Hurricane rocket versions. No AT rockets, HE rockets. But still, I mean, you can get 3 of these in A phase. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a fantastic division. So far this has blown me out of the water. I wasn't looking forward too much to first Pancerna, like out of all the divisions. I was looking forward to other divisions more than this one. I was definitely looking forward to this one, but maybe not so much as more of the other ones. But so far, out of the divisions I've looked at, this one is my favourite so far. I am absolutely looking forward to this division. And yeah, what's my pick of units here? I'm not going to pick the Cromwells. Normally I would lead towards a Cromwell. I mean, that Firefly looks beautiful. What else do we have a choice of here? It's actually, it's a really tough choice. What do I pick as my favourite unit? There's so many strong units. I mean, the standard Sherman. I'm going to pick the standard Sherman. This is probably the weirdest favourite unit pick you'll have ever come across with me doing these first look videos. I mean, if you've been watching my first look videos in the past, I always pick a favourite unit, and no one will have guessed that I would have picked the standard Sherman 5 as my favourite unit for this division. But I'm telling you, this Sherman 5 just opens up so many opportunities for this division. Like, this unit, I think, really opens the battlefield up, because Shermans are just amazing tanks. Really fantastic tanks in Steel Division 2. I mean, they cannot do much at long range, but you get these things at short range and you get them against infantry, then Shermans can just destroy. Yeah. So the standard Sherman Of all things, I'm picking the standard Sherman 5. But what a beautiful unit. And I know it's just a standard skin, but it just looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There we go, there we have it. The first Pancerna. So far, I'm looking forward to this division the most out of all of them I've seen. I hope you guys are as well. Remember, Steel Division 2 Tribute to D-Day DLC drops on June 6th. I am going to be there. Hopefully you guys are as well. Let's get playing some Steel Division 2. Also, check out the links in my description to my Twitch and Discord. Come join me, play Steel Division 2 together. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Birds. I will see you next time.